Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us this morning here in Galway, and I know it's afternoon in India. Welcome to our webinar today on MSc Entrepreneurship and Venture Management. My name is Lucy Heaney. I am from the International Office here at University of Galway. Today, I am joined by Professor Jonathan Levy, Dr. Ikshen Q, Sharon Ullman, and last but by no means least, our regional manager in India, Anju Singh. And I think Anju is going to present for us today. On the right-hand side of your screen, as I mentioned before, you are welcome to ask any questions. We'll answer them as best we can, and we will leave general questions to the end of the webinar. Thank you so much. I'll hand over to you, Anju.
Thank you, Lucy, and good afternoon, everyone who is joining us today for this webinar. Really excited to be here to speak to you and answer your questions. Just for your information, we would be doing a presentation of aiming at about an hour in total, but then after presentation from Dr. Jishan and Dr. Jonathan, Sharon would be actually focusing on admissions and scholarships, and towards the end we are very happy to take your question and answer, but feel free, as and when your question pops up into your head, please feel free to just type it into chat and we'll get back to you. So thanks for being here again. Before talking more about the university and introducing you to the university, let me just share where exactly our location is. That is the first question which comes into your mind when we talk about Galway. So I'm sure you all are aware about the capital city, Dublin. So most of the flights that you take from here, this region, would be landing into Dublin, or if you would like to, land into Shannon, which happens to be an international airport as well, you're most welcome to do that. But generally, if you're landing into Dublin, then Galway is about 2.5 hours away. And most of our students prefer taking a road trip to Galway. It takes about, there are buses which are available for the student, which has service every 15 minutes or so when you land in. And if at all you plan to come to Shannon first, then we are hardly an hour's journey from the beautiful city of Shannon. So we are on the West Coast, as you can see here, talking a little more about this beautiful city of Galway. This year, Galway has been ranked number 7 best student city in the entire world, and apparently the number 1 student-friendliest city on the planet as well per Campus Advisor Ranking 2023. When we talk about the population, of course, it's not as big as a city as a capital city and other, but it happens to be the 4th largest city in the country. And currently the population is about 85,000, close to 86,000, I would say. From Indian standards, definitely very, very small, because you will find these many people sometimes staying in one society. But of course, Galway actually is a very small city. But when you are there, you will definitely get a real good vibe, of being in a big town or a city. It's always happening. A lot of tourists come throughout the year. So it's definitely a very, very attractive city, and one of my favorite cities definitely in the entire planet. Just a couple of years back, we were dubbed as the most charming city by New York Times as well. So definitely Galway is the European capital of culture in 2020. This year, a lot of exciting things are happening. And of course, because Galway is a city of festivals, culture, music, film, sports, and whatnot. In fact, the Galway International Art Festival takes place every year in the month of July. So the city is full of action and it's buzzing with lots and lots of activities across the entire city. And lots of tourists, people, students, they get to do and enjoy many, many things which are happening around the city. Just something which is definitely relevant, a new movie which is called The Watchers has been recently filmed in the beautiful campus of Galway and the city of Galway. And this definitely has a very interesting fact here. It is actually based on a book written by A.M. Shine, who happens to be the alumni of College of Arts, Social Sciences and Celtic Studies, and has been directed by Ishani Knight Shyamalan, who happens to be the daughter of Knight K. Shyamalan, who hails from the city of Pondicherry in south of India. So he's a Hollywood director. His daughter is the one who is directed. So I'm really excited to share this news with you. And this particular movie got released in the month of June. Definitely the trailers are out there. The movies are out there. Go and watch it. Now, moving on to the more serious side of things, Galway, besides being a hub for art and culture, it has a lot more to offer as well. As you can see on your screen, Galway is a mini tech hub. Companies like Apple, Cisco, HP, SAP, Fidelity, Oracle, IBM, they all have their operations here in the city of Galway. When we talk about medtech, again, out of top 10 medtech companies, 9 of them have operations in the beautiful city of Galway. As you can see, Boston Scientific, which is a US company, has been there for years and has been recruiting our students for many, many years. But other companies like Medtronics, Aerogen, Delcat, Nelipac, they all have offices in Galway offering many, many job opportunities to students who are looking for maybe opportunities while doing their internship or for full-time job employability as well. Galway has also emerged as a fintech hub, and many, many job opportunities are available for the students after their completion or during their studies. Also, internships and project opportunities are made available by these companies, and we work really closely with most of them. When we talk about Galway and the surrounding areas, the center picture is the one which is actually our quadrangle by evening. It looks so beautiful. But on your right side is also Cliffs of Moher, which happens to be the most popular, or I would say number one tourist destination in the country. So when you are in the city of Galway, you definitely can explore a lot in the city and around the city as well. Now, just to give you a glimpse of where we are definitely, as I mentioned earlier, next to the wild Atlantic. So it's a very, very windy city, but you can see the beach on the left side, but just next to that is Galway city center. Just towards, this is a different angle from where we are trying to show the Galway city center and the entire city. And in this particular slide, you will see the University of Galway campus. Our campus is situated next to the river called Corrib, which happens to be, again, I believe I've heard, the fastest flowing river in the country as well. But the campus itself, as you can see, is a great combination of lush greenery. It's a lush green campus. It's not a concrete jungle where, like most of the universities have just building. And it's a very interesting combination of old heritage buildings and the new modern building with great facilities as well. So this particular campus is stretched across 3 kilometers, and we do offer on-campus accommodation within the campus itself, which is walking distance from the business school, which is definitely going to be the talk today. And this is the place where we started way back in 1845, the popular quadrangle. When we talk about the university, University of Galway, as I said, was established in the year 1845. It's more than 180 years old now. And particularly talking about the rankings of the university, we are currently ranked among the top 2% amongst the world universities ranking per QS, top 100 in the Europe, and among the top 3 universities in the country. We take a lot of pride in calling ourselves a research-led university, and currently more than 19,000 students are studying at undergraduate, postgraduate, and research level within the university. About 18% of these students are international from 122 different nationalities. And of course, a lot of students prefer coming to Galway for their further studies from India as well. When we talk about the most exciting, fact, I would say here on this particular slide, besides, of course, research collaboration, which we do a lot here, as I said, we're also among the most sustainable universities in the country. In fact, we are number one when it comes to sustainability in the country. And when we talk particularly about the SDG goals, we are among the 47th in the world in there. 98% of our graduates find employability or are in further education, and we offer great support from our career services cell. And you definitely can explore more such facilities within the university once you join there. And currently, we offer more than 70 undergraduate programs, 200 postgrad programs, and more than 100 research programs within the universities. So this is it from me as far as a quick snapshot of the university is concerned. I'll just pass it on to Dr. Yishan Q now for the presentation about the Entrepreneurship and Venture Management course. So thanks for listening.
You can see that. It's great, Yushin. I think you're on mute there. Can you see?
Great. I'm back. Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Great.
That's perfect.
Can you
Thank
see
you.
my slides moving?
Yes.
Great, thanks. Hello, everyone. Another welcome for joining us here. I'm Yixing. I'm really delighted to share a bit more about this very exciting MSc program in entrepreneurship and venture management with you. And it has been a very exciting journey of designing this program with Professor Jonathan Levy, because first of all, he is very experienced in designing similar courses in an area of entrepreneurship, and also because we have identified a very interesting and niche, but also needed area in entrepreneurship that might need more talents to work in this area, and we think it's going to be a very promising and interesting program for many students as well. So the reason why we designed and initiated this MSc program in entrepreneurship and venture management is partly because you may already know or get an overview in the area of entrepreneurship program, and you may have already noticed that many of the programs, they focus mostly in a very starting stage of entrepreneurial journey about opportunity and identification. However, by concentrating most of the focus in this very small area, we also find that they left a big part of entrepreneurship unexplored, but also a lot of job opportunities comes out from that specific area, which provides a lot of chances for our future students. So we have listed 3 potential career opportunities here for our future students, including being a founder's associate, or for the next generation of family business management, or being a specialist in functional roles in scaling business, which I will dive into a bit more into details later during the presentation. So in the presentation today, we have 3 main areas that we want to talk you through. So I will cover the first area about this program, about what is the unique selling point and what are the specific professional opportunities from this program, and then also how is the program designed to equip our students with the needed skills after finishing the program. And then I'm going to hand it over to my colleague, Jonathan, who is also here today, and he will be introducing the local and the national entrepreneurial ecosystem, which also supports the running and operation of this program, and also the university resources that is relevant to this program. So I think you might already know that entrepreneurship has been widely explored by different business schools, because it's a very exciting and a very big landscape. However, we found, as I mentioned earlier, that most of the existing entrepreneurship programs, they focus on training students to be a founder or to start their own business. But this landscape has been widely explored not only by universities, but also you may have noticed that incubators and accelerators, they are also training founders and new venture teams to be ready for the market. So this part of the entrepreneurship landscape has been a bit squeezed. However, at the same time, entrepreneurship is a very big area in a way that even after startup, there are different stages of scale up, growth, and also being a scaler. And then the skills needed in the later stage of entrepreneurship development might be very different from the starting stage, where they focus more on opportunity identification and then also product market fit. Therefore, we find that there is an international skill gap in the market to be filled in the area of managing venture from startup to scale up. And then this area has also left a considerable amount of job opportunities for our students. And these career opportunities includes for those graduates who are seeking to be a part of entrepreneurship or to be a part of entrepreneur teams, but not necessarily want to be founders themselves. They may want to be in some management roles by supporting the startups and scale-ups. So this kind of job posts includes being a founder's associate or being a junior management role in scaling business. And then also this set of skills for scale up and for managing the growth of new ventures is also similar to those skills that is needed or that is sought after by those next generation family business heirs, because they probably want to prove themselves by leading a branch or leading a new venture that is relevant but different from the existing family business. So I might go a bit detail into those different career possibilities a bit later. So bearing this unique selling point in mind, while designing this program, we thought about some parts that might differentiate this program from other existing programs in entrepreneurship from the market. So first of all, as I mentioned earlier, the focus is a bit different because most of the existing programs in entrepreneurship, they have a focus on the pre-startup opportunity discovery and validation stage by looking a bit more into how to develop a business model or how to find the fit between the market and the product. However, in our program, in this entrepreneurship and venture management program, we look a bit more into the venture process from startup to scaling and then also to maturity or harvest. So it's not only about very starting point, but more about the full process and the full life cycle management. And then also when design the curriculum, we noticed that most of the existing program, they focus on entrepreneurship and also innovation to broaden the appeal. And then for startup and for scale up, we have included different crucial skills that are somewhat overlooked in other programs, because for managing new venture from startup to scale up, you would need an overview, a broad understanding of how ventures and how business they operate. So we have included different modules in various aspects of managing business, including selling, finance, talent management, and also we have a very specific module in scaling. Then also we are aware that for students who want to work in the field of entrepreneurship, it's very important for them to have some practical experience of understanding or some hands-on experience of working with people who are in this area. So while designing this curriculum, we have also integrated a lot of partnership with local entrepreneur teams and new ventures so that students can really work with those local entrepreneurial teams and be a part of the local entrepreneur ecosystem when they are studying in this program at the school. And then I might move on to some professional opportunities from doing this MSc program. And you might remember that the Founders Associate role was the first one that I mentioned earlier, because this is a relatively new job role that is recently filled by some graduates who wanted to join startup. And they normally join those startups by being the right-hand person of the CEO. So even by hearing this, I feel you can get a feeling that it is a very exciting role, because by being the right-hand person of the CEO, you really need to get a very broad view and deep understanding of a very strategic view on how to run the business. And also you will get your hands in all different aspects of the management of the venture. And however, though there has been an increasing demand in this job role, we haven't really identified other MSc entrepreneurship programs that specifically target on this kind of career profile. Therefore, we have really designed this program to train our future students to be able and to be ready to directly take or manage those roles. And also, while designing this curriculum and this program, we have been in continuous consultation with some HR firms and also with some existing scaling ventures regarding what kind of talents they are looking into, and then we have those information in mind while designing this program. So this is a really very exciting and very new role that recently comes up in the market. And then here you will see some example of recent Irish vacancies for these founders associate roles. So in the first one, in upper part, you will see that I highlighted the very exciting part of this role. They are looking for someone that they will be involved in every facet of this business, from culture creation, team development, product strategies, to developing key partnership and refining the approach to sustainability. So you will see that really many aspects of the business are included into the responsibility and remit of this job role. And then in the second example here, you will also see in this job post, in the responsibility, they have also put in many different aspects of this business as a part of this role responsibility. So in the first one, it really carves out what is Founders Associate about. It says this role support founders with strategic planning, project management, and execution of high priority tasks. So it's really an exciting role of being the person who really assists and support the CEO in making decisions. And then the second professional opportunity from this program is for family business heirs, because as I mentioned earlier, for managing scale up and growing business, the set of skills is very similar for those family business heirs who may need to earn their spurs by leading a spin-off or a branch from the existing business that is a bit different from the existing family business, but still relevant in a way that they can show and prove themselves before take over the whole family business. And there has also been a lot of research that's showing the importance of family business in entrepreneurship. So there's a study shows that among all the family business heirs, 43% of them are expected to be a business founder in the future. And then also there's another study that shows among all the spin-off, 1/5 of them are from family business. So it shows that it's a big market there, that a lot of family business heirs, they need to be founders in the future themselves, and they need those skills to be able to show themselves, to earn their spur before they can take over their family business. So the aim of this program is really to help those family business heirs to establish a new income that is relatively semi-independent from the existing families, while at the same time, they are doing it differently so that they are explore a new opportunity, while at the same time, minimize the risk to the parent family firms. Then the third professional career, the professional opportunity from this program would be being a junior management role in scaling business. So Andrew have nicely introduced that Galway has been a choice of many different multinational business because of some good reasons, right? So Ireland really has the advantage of being closely, geographically and also culturally close to the US and also to the UK, and then also being a part of the EU as well. So Ireland has been really a very fertile ground for business to scale. So not only for multinationals, for international business, but also for a lot of indigenous business. So when those business, when they are growing and when they are scaling, they really need talents to manage this storm, because they need to strategically innovate, and then they also need to change their operation, and then there's a lot of change in the internal management as well. So when those business, when they are growing, they are seeking for talents who are readily available to help the business to maneuver this storm. And this is also the aim of this program, that we hope our future graduates will be readily available to take those roles from scaling business when they will graduate from this program. And I think from the presentation of Andrew, it has shown that Galway has really been the choice of a lot of scaling companies. And I have also put 3 different examples here. So Genesis, Signify Health, and Liberty IT, they are relatively new and scaling companies in Galway. And a very interesting fact is that I think all the 3 companies, they established their Galway office roughly during or before the COVID time, and then they even scaled during those challenging time when a lot of other business are trying to survive, but they scaled during those time. And then I will move on to how does this program can help our students to develop those required skills to take on those roles when they graduate. So when we design this program, when we design the curriculum, we have bear in mind that we hope this program can suit all the students from all different study backgrounds. Therefore, the curriculum design, we designed it in a way that we start from very fundamental modules, for example, about business, about critical thinking, and then we move on to more specific modules in the different areas of management and entrepreneurship in those areas that I mentioned earlier about selling, about scaling, about finance and talent management. And then also in aiming to help students in understanding the whole venture process, namely from startup to scaling and then to maybe maturity or harvest, we have also included modules that covers multiple aspects of venture management, which I've mentioned earlier, so I'm not belaboring myself here. Then to help students to better understand how entrepreneur teams and the real business world really works, we have also created very strong links with local business and ecosystem. As you can see here, we have listed different very important local players in entrepreneurship ecosystem here, including Portershed, Platform 94, and Digital Clue. These 3, they are in entrepreneurial hubs and scaling hubs locally. So we have been working closely and partnering with them for a long time in different modules. So we are also developing or strengthening our partnership with them for this program so that our students can get a chance of working with different venture teams when they study in this program in the future. And then we are also working closely with some scaling companies locally here in Galway. As you can see, we have listed some here in this slide as well. And then this is just an overview of how this the curriculum is designed. So you can see, as I mentioned, we really start with the very basic and fundamental modules in critical thinking and professional development, and then moving on to more specific ones. And you will also see there are 3 highlighted modules, because in these 3 modules, we have very close partnership with local entrepreneur teams. And for example, I'm giving you a very simple example here. For instance, in the entrepreneurial finance management module, students will get the chance of working with one local venture team by developing some financial statement or financial strategies for them about how they can better, for example, raising funds or manage their finance part. So yeah, and also the applied consultancy report will be the final capstone project for our students, where they also will work closely with local ventures in addressing one of the proposed challenges from those those local ventures. So these are really exciting opportunities of starting by also getting hands into how things work in real world. And also you will see there is a very exciting list of electives here so that students can really choose those electives and tailor this program to their specific interest or specific need. And now I will hand it over to my colleague, Professor Jonathan Levy, on the entrepreneurial ecosystem part.
Thank you, Yasin. Hi, everybody. It's wonderful to be with you all today, and it's great to see so many people online. Yasin, could I have the next slide, please? Yeah, so I'm going to talk about the entrepreneurial ecosystem that surrounds us, and I'm going to start within the university, because we have a very exciting entrepreneurial ecosystem within the university, and then expand out to the city and the country and even the world. Let's start much closer to home with our own Centre for Entrepreneurial Growth and Scaling, which we call CEGS. This was started by my esteemed colleague, Professor Esther Tipman, who's an expert on the global scaling of entrepreneurial ventures, and myself. My area is early corporate growth and entrepreneurial ecosystems. So we're a founder member of the European Scaleup Institute, which is a collaboration of 8 business schools across Europe. We do cutting edge research on scaling. You can look up our CEGS website and see what the latest research is about. It gets picked up by the press, and it's a very exciting space to be in right now. And of course, this research goes straight into our teaching, so it's research-led teaching. Next slide, please, Yasin. Yeah, so expanding out from the business school, within the university, we have a lot of different programs that help entrepreneurs, technology entrepreneurs to get going. There's one very exciting one called BioInnovate. I'll give an example of that in just a minute. That specializes in medtech, mainly medtech device companies. We are a medtech hub globally, one of about 8 or 9 medtech hubs in the world. We also have an incubator on campus with a lot of companies. We're spinning out businesses all the time. Most of these businesses in the incubator are using technology that's been developed in the university. And we also have specialist programs for agricultural technology and other forms of technology as well. So we're very well served. There's a lot of entrepreneurial individuals who need help with starting their business, and that's where we can come in. So here's an example of the fruits really of our university entrepreneurial ecosystem. On the right, you see Aaron Hannon. He's a young graduate. They've just raised $15 million to start this business, which it treats one of the side effects of cancer treatment, which is where you lose your hair. So they've developed this device which prevents you from losing your hair while you're going through this awful chemical treatment. And that might sound frivolous, but it's actually really important psychologically to individuals, and it helps them recover. So Aaron's the CEO. He's a graduate, a biomedical engineering graduate. And beside him, you have the CTO, who's a scientist, Dr. Barbara Oliveira. And beside her is a brilliant professor called Martin O'Halloran, who spun out many businesses and helped many others to spin out. And he runs what we call a translational research lab. So taking technologies and developing products that help people and very often save lives. So that's just one example of many spin-outs that we have from the university. So next slide, please, Yasin. So moving out to the city itself, I know Andrew has told you a lot about what the city's like, but it's also really great for entrepreneurship. And maybe if I just move on to the next one, Yasin. Next slide, yeah. We interact a lot with the entrepreneurial community. And here's just one example. It's an annual business summit that we hold. We have hundreds of people coming every spring to it. And here you can see a panel. I'm there on the right, and my colleague Esther Tipman is on the left. And we have, beside me, John Power. Andrew mentioned Erigen. So Erigen is Ireland's largest indigenous medtech company. Very exciting business. We've written a case study on it. I had John Power in my entrepreneurial finance class talking about what it's like to be an angel investor just a couple of weeks ago. And beside Esther on the left is Elaine Murphy. So she's the lead for Signify Health, which Yasin mentioned. And that's a really interesting business that grew really fast, based in New York, started its EMEA hub in Galway and grew incredibly fast. And it's just been bought, actually, by a huge American corporation. And so, you know, people who get in early into these businesses as they scale fast, they may well get you know, share options, which could be really quite exciting if the business gets bought down the road. Another example of this would be Yasin mentioned Genesis. The history of that is that it actually started in Galway with a small entrepreneurial business, which started in our incubator called AltoCloud. And 4 years after it started, it was in AI, very early into AI. It was bought by this big company called Genesis, which decided to turn this little Galway business into one of their major R&D hubs for AI. And they employ over 300 people now in Galway. So that's just kind of a flavor of the sort of thing we do. Next slide, please, Yasin. Again, as Andrew said, we have lots of particularly medtech businesses, but also, as Yasin said, we have these entrepreneurial and scaling accelerators and incubators. And to just give you an idea of how we interact with them, in my undergraduate entrepreneurial finance class, this year I had 147 students. We worked with 13 different entrepreneurs, early stage entrepreneurs, and the students were working in teams to help the entrepreneurs to do financial modeling. And I'll just read out very quickly an email that one of the entrepreneurs sent my students yesterday. She says, and by the way, I'm choosing this one because she's Indian. She's based in Dublin. She's got a really exciting tech business. And she says, I'm really impressed with your work and dedication. I appreciate how you've captured the key business metrics in the dashboard and model, insightful and well-structured. The report is also well written with clear and actionable recommendations. Fantastic job overall. Congratulations on completing the project, and I wish you the best of luck in your future endeavors. And then this next bit is really important. She says, feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn to stay in touch. If you come across any interesting features, competitors, or market insights, don't hesitate to reach out. I'd love to hear from you. So that's an example of the sort of interaction we have. And in this course, you'll be doing that kind of work individually with entrepreneurs. With our undergrads, it's in teams, but with this, you'll be doing it yourselves. So that's just an example of how we interact with all of these accelerators. In fact, on Friday, I was at the Portershed's demo day. So this is one of the accelerators that's on the screen here on the left-hand side. And 2 weeks previously, I'd been teaching financial modeling to those entrepreneurs who were pitching to investors. Okay, so that's probably enough about the local entrepreneurial ecosystem. To just give you an idea of how quickly you could get integrated into it, this September of this year, our current MSc students won the High Potential Startup Award at a Founders Weekend in September. So they arrived at the beginning of September, and within weeks, they were immersed in the entrepreneurial ecosystem, and they actually won the prize. So that's a picture of them with their mentors drawn from the entrepreneurial community. And this could be you in September 2025. Right, next slide, please. I think I'm going to hand over the reins at this stage.
Thanks a million. Thanks, Jonathan, and thanks, Yishin. An absolutely excellent presentation, and I want to do the course now. It's so exciting and a unique offering, I think, and hopefully we'll garner lots of interest. We've a lot of people online here. It's great to see, and very insightful, very exciting. Delighted to be here. So I suppose to get to the housekeeping, the how to apply, the all important to get those applications in. So offers are made on a rolling basis, so there is no closing date, but we always recommend that people make applications as soon as possible to guarantee an offer and a place. They're made online. I think you've shared, yes, they're online. So that QR code there, we'll also put it in the chat, the link to the application, and just apply early to secure an offer. Next slide there, Yishin. So we also offer very generous, the School of Business and Economics offer very generous scholarships, and the Business Postgraduate Merit Scholarship, which can be up to 50% of the tuition fee. And all eligible candidates are automatically considered. So you don't actually have to apply for it. But to be eligible, you must have accepted your offer by the 30th of April, 2025. So that would be for international students. And then for any EU candidates, it would be the 31st of July, 2025. So once the offer has been accepted, and you meet the condition, which is a H1 equivalent in a level 8 degree, you will be considered. And again, we put that link. And I think that is it for the housekeeping. We would just urge people to make an application, and also please feel free to contact us. Andrew, you put the link to the program there. The contact details are there for the program director and also for the discipline, but you can also contact us, any of us, put any questions that you have into the chat, and we'll be very happy to answer them. And we're just here, to support you in any way that we can. Thanks very much.
Thanks so much, everyone. That was absolutely fascinating from beginning to end. I was absolutely hooked. So a lot of information there. We'll just wait a few moments. If you have any questions, we are happy to answer them. But there was a lot of information there, so I think almost everything was covered. And we can also send you the recording of this webinar as well, because, as I say, there was great detail in the presentations there as well.
Lucy, if you want, I can quickly tell them about the requirements, if that's okay.
Go ahead.
Indian requirements.
Oh, sorry, Andrew.
Sure.
Yes, I knew I was
No problems.
Thank you.
Generally, no problem. So generally, when we talk about the entry criteria from India, we normally are very happy to receive applications from the students who have completed their 3 years of bachelor's degree from here, and with a minimum of 65% marks. But if you are coming from certain universities which are based, like University of Delhi, Mumbai, Pune, Kolkata, and Anna University particularly, or if your university is ranked among the top 100 NIRF ranked institutions, we are happy to look at your application with slightly lesser percentage as well. I'll be sharing the link of all the requirements that we have from various universities here. You can definitely have a look at that. But when we talk about the IELTS requirement, we are looking at overall 6.5. from you guys, and we do accept students to take their TOEFL or PTE. Duolingo is something we are not accepting, so make sure you don't write Duolingo. So all the three tests, IELTS, TOEFL, and PTE would be accepted. So you'll find all the information on the website. In terms of the applications, let me just give you a quick tip. When we talk about Ireland, Ireland is all about early applications, because if you apply now, then only you would be getting an offer letter hopefully in 2 to 3 weeks. And once you receive an offer, you are required to accept the offer by paying a deposit of 500 euros and then move on to the next stage of probably looking for scholarships or accommodation, and things move really fast. Trust me, it feels like as if the entire year is ahead of you, but that's not the case when you start the process. In terms of all the documentation, we would want all your undergraduate mark sheets and degree certificates if you've already completed the course. But if not, and if you are, most of you would be in the final year, so we would expect you to submit all your mark sheets or transcripts so far. Alongside that, you would also be required to submit a statement of purpose and a recommendation letter from your lecturers, 1 or 2, whatever you would want to submit. If you're working, a CV can be submitted, or a work recommendation also is allowed, so feel free to submit that. And these are all the required documentation. We also are offering conditional offers, which basically means if you haven't written an IELTS examination as yet, feel free to apply without an IELTS score sheet, but try to submit as soon as you have written your IELTS or PT or TOEFL, whatever, and submit it to get one condition omitted from your offer letter. So we'll share the updated offer letter then. So this is a quick update about the admissions, and if you have any questions, I have shared our email ID, which is southasia@universityofgalway.ie. I'm sure most of you must have met us during the fairs, but if not, feel free to pick up the phone and call us directly or reach out on email, and we'll be more than happy to share more information about the university, the college, and this program in particular, because it's such an exciting program. I believe it's very unique. It's in its own sense, and we'll be more than happy to share more information about the program. So yeah, that's all from me. Thank you so much again.
Just to also, Andrew, just to point out as well, just about the interview requirements, that we also accept candidates with a 2-2. So I'm just looking here, the 2-2, is that 55 in India? I'm not
55%. Yeah,
so that would
and
be
if you are coming
work experience, yeah. So
exactly, but you need to have 2 years of work experience with that. So if your percentage is less, then a 2 years relevant work experience is something we are willing to look at. So please do apply if you're falling into that category. Thanks for raising that, Sharon. So over to you, Lucy.
Perfect. Thank you so much, everyone. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. It was a really, really interesting and engaging presentation. So enjoy the rest of your day from wherever you are in the world, from China to India to Galway. So take care. Thank you so much.
Thank you.